Hello everybody and welcome to the Tsukuba circuit here for round 3 or races 5 and 6 of the Coco Beach Bar Championship here in association with Jack Ashton Racing. MX5 Racing once again returning here in the new year after a few weeks away. Last time out it was Oulton Park where we were at, and we had a good couple of races. It's the same format this afternoon. We're about to have, or we've just started, a 10-minute qualifying session. That'll be followed by a 15-minute race, and then another 15-minute race with a full reverse grid. Myself, Ewan, and James Parfitt will take you through the action here this afternoon, and it's fair to say that James is very much looking forward to it. I'm not a huge lover of this circuit, but you certainly are. So yeah, we're looking forward to races 5 and 6 here this afternoon of this championship.
Dude, how can you not be excited for Tsukuba? How can you not be excited for Tsukuba with MX-5s? Like, I've driven MX-5s around it. It is the utmost amount of fun I've had ever. This is like, you know, everybody knows Interlagos is my favourite circuit overall, but if I had to pick a short track, Tsukuba would be it. It is absolutely incredible. Bar, obviously, Martinsville and Bristol for ovals, but we won't talk about them. But this is absolutely incredible. This is so much fun. It is a glorified go-kart circuit, and literally they chuck MX-5s on it. These guys are going to have an absolute blast. And just to top it all off, Jack's decided we're going to have a full reverse grid for race number 2. Come on, what can you not get excited about, Mr. O'Leary? Come on.
I'm just glad to be watching. You know, we're going to have fun watching it. I'm glad I'm not driving. Put it that way. Although I do really like MX5 racing. I'm much more looking forward to seeing Oran Park actually next week. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and Lime Rock Park as well. I very much enjoy as Joel Singleton goes over the line there with the new fastest time. Yeah, I'm personally more looking forward to those. But there you go. And by the way, I swear you've only picked Martinsville because you won the special event there.
No.
Maybe that's actually your
I don't know what you mean, Mr. O'Leary. I never won the MX500 from the back of the
wanted
grid.
me to mention it.
Oh, I did not. Do you know what? That got brought out the other day, actually. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were like, you haven't mentioned it. I said, mention what? They were like, mention that you're an MX500 winner. I was like, dude, I can't help it. It's not my fault. That is probably my greatest achievement in iRacing. I don't care about getting to A license, B license, or any other license, just winning the MX500.
It's quite impressive.
Yeah, 4.5 hours in VR. That was not good, but the rest of it was great fun. I was more than chuffed, should we say. My greatest achievement, and I didn't even get a certificate to say that I won. Not happy. No, I can't. Well, if they have, I can't find it. I was going to print it off and stick it on my office.
Oh, right. I did think they took a little time actually to come through, but
maybe because it wasn't a high split or anything. I don't really know. Unless anybody can tell me where it is.
Maybe you only get them for a championship and not a special event? Is it because it's a one event rather than a championship?
I don't know. Do you get them for D24 and stuff like that? I don't know
if I've ever seen. Yeah, maybe you do. I don't know.
If anybody knows where I would find, if I have a certificate, where I would find it, let me know, because I've hunted and I really cannot find it. But it was going to be my moment crowning a glory, you see. And I was going to print it off and stick it in my newly decorated office that I've spent my Christmas break decorating. Because it was just one of them achievements that I think that I just enjoyed. And it's great fun. But, you know.
We've spent 3 minutes talking about that. We'll...
Hey, that's all we need, just to gloat my ego a little bit more, you know what I mean? Let's be real about it. We don't need any other time.
We'll push on with the racing itself now. In fact, the qualifying session pretty much drawing to a close. We saw the end of Joel Singleton's lap time, and he set 1 minute 2.6, which should be good enough to take pole. But we've still got drivers who haven't set times at all. That's Fear Fanopoulos, who's set his final time there and gone into 5th. That was relatively close to pole, but not too close. And George Metikos has not got a time as far as I can see. However, he is, he didn't set a time. No. He also looks like he's from Antarctica from his from his flag there, but anyway, I'm sure he's not. Let's have a look at the grid, ready for this first race of the day. Joe Singleton, as I say, taking the pole position with Valdes Fonsevius just alongside. Tommy Patero and Matt Warner on row 2 ahead of Yanis Fiafanopoulos, who set the last time of the session, and Ian Knox in 6th. Then it's Eric Orchin and Gaetano Cerese in 8th place. Wildan Petkovic is 9th ahead of Nicholas Green, with Andrew Ogley and Matthew Graham sharing row 6. Those guys both a second and a half and more off of the pole. Ben Gregory and Darren Nunn are next ahead of Gerald Werner and Patrick Zandbeek. Then it is Dean Sargent and Jimmy Nguyen, who are the final drivers who've set times, and George Medicos, who didn't. So hopefully he gets to. He's an international. It's not the Antarctica flag. Anyway,
okay.
The drivers are just gridding up, and it's a short run towards turn 1, but it's a very tight corner. I wonder how it's going to go.
Yeah, it should be all right as long as they don't accelerate too early out of the apex, because you do end up going round. I like to point out it's also Graham Matthews, not Matthew Graham. I'm sure on that one.
Oh. I apologise. Let's get this race underway. First of the afternoon, here from Tsukuba, race 5 of the championship is underway, and Joel Singleton gets off to a decent start, but Vansevius is still alongside him and Patero just waiting in behind as well. Through turn 1, he's got the better line as Vansevius. He's going to go through. Singleton pushed to the outside line. He's going to be going backwards here. Patero is going to get into line next to him, but this chicane just filters everybody into a single file before a very difficult corner here. At the left-hander, someone looking up the inside further on in the background, but mostly single file for the leaders.
Yeah, they've got off to a great start there as well. Valdez literally did what he had to do. He got underneath Singleton off the start, and Singleton couldn't do anything about it. That run between turn 1 down into 4 is literally single file, and there was just no choice for Singleton. He had to sit in behind him, and he had to go and follow him. He didn't have the speed, partly due to the fact that he had cold tyres, no grip on the outside whatsoever. Coming into the final turn now as well, this is a great corner. You just dab the brakes, you aim the car, and then you feather the throttle round going around the final corner. Absolutely amazing. Now you can let it run, take as much on the left-hand side as you can, and there you go, lap 1 done.
These cars are so small that you're sort of off the circuit there when you're taking the racing line, but anyway, you're allowed to, so it's fine. Through the first corner they go again, on board with Joel Singleton, then Patero. Here he is with his sort of Finland blue helmet on, if you like, in towards turn 5. Oh, that was close. Very close. Singleton there nearly got his braking zone wrong. You were talking about how you've got to get single file and got to stamp on the brakes there as well. Well, Singleton very nearly didn't. He went straight into the back of the leader.
Yeah, he did. This corner is one of these deceiving corners, because you can generally take it full flat, but you've got to feather the throttle, because in these cars as well, that happens, as you've just seen Tommy Patero get a little bit loose there as well. So they've got to make sure that they go round that corner, round through turn 5, 6 and 7, and feather the throttle and keep as much power as possible. But it is all looking like everybody's made it through. Dave Sargent's just looked like he's had a little bit of a problem. Petrovic is right up the back end of Ogley at this moment in time.
This is on board with Pekovic now. He's got a good run out the final corner. Fairly narrow, could have got on the power a bit earlier actually, but he's still got a decent run, and he can have a dive down the inside here as well. Oh, he is doing late on the brakes, and he slams straight into the side of Ogley there, who goes for a big slide as well. It was aggressive from Petkovic, but effective, and he's up to 9th place.
Needed. I think that was the thing. He looks like he's got more speed than Ogley, and at the moment he had to make that move through, and he just literally sent it up the inside. That's one of the things. Turn 1 is a multi-line corner. You can either take it really tight, or you can come in from the outside and bring it in. The problem is, it's the same as Village and Lodge round on Silverstone. You take it wide, somebody's going to look at diving up the inside. Petrovic did exactly just that, and nearly caused himself a little bit of a carnage, but he got through with Ogley. Ogley just managed to react in time, and they are all through. Let's have a look at what Dean Sargent got himself up to as well. Is this going to be coming down into turn 1? It does look like it, and there was a big old dive there from the number 1 of George Metikos.
That was Metikos trying to work his way through from the very back, and he's done a good job actually of that. He's up to 16th, but that particular pass wasn't a great example of it. Here is Patero again close to Singleton, but see, this is a slight problem with this circuit. I mean, turn 5 is not really a great overtaking opportunity because of the chicane before and the way that you've got to take the racing line there can be a little bit tricky, but so far these front four are staying the course. They are just keeping things as it is. Warner there very close to sliding himself off the road, doing what you were saying about feathering the throttle through there on a deceptively tight bend in the road. Out of the slowest corner on the circuit, or one of them, I can't decide quite which it is, but onto the back straight they go and into the final corner, which I will admit is an exciting corner to drive, and it does give you a good overtaking chance in towards turn one as well if you get it right. It looks like Patero might well have done just that. He's got a good late apex there, a good exit as well. He's less than a quarter second behind Singleton. We saw dives further down the field from this kind of distance. Patero's doing the same as well, but no, Singleton breaks late enough and holds on to second.
Oh, do you know the move that saved Singleton was him closing that door really early. He saw the move from Patero, and Singleton was like, nope, not this time, I'm shutting that door on him, and he did. That's what saved him. But he's got to make sure when he comes off that final corner now, if Patero gets the same run, Singleton's got to come over and hug the wall almost to close it off and make him go around the outside. It's very hard to go around the outside here at turn number 1 and get that run down through 2, 3 and 4, so it's going to be very tough. These four are battling out, but look down here. Ben Gregory has just come from, I don't know where he came from. Graham Matthews, Gerald Journer, Nunn, Green, Metakos, all going at each other here. Nice little 6-car fight.
Yeah, and Gregory came from off the circuit there, I'm pretty sure, from the camera angle we saw there. He's holding on, though, to 11th place. This is the biggest group on the circuit, and Werner and Nunn, meanwhile, further back are going side by side as well, though that's only Nunn just having a look to the inside. He isn't actually alongside by the looks of things, and so he has to stay behind. Look at Green going round the outside. That is a good move. You can get caught up on the inside there very easily, and Nunn could be getting freight train if he's not careful. Nicholas Green on the outside line is not going to go for it quite as decisively as he needed to there, and Nunn is going to hang on. Metakos is going to take advantage. He slipped through on the inside and is up to 15th place now.
Yeah, he's trying to make his move past Nunn as well. He's bullied Nunn off that inside line, and this is kind of what I mean in reference to Martinsville, because you do the same thing. You sort of bully the car off the inside line at Martinsville and nudge them out, and these guys are doing the same thing through that run, through turns 2, 3 and 4. They're kind of bullying each other away from that inside line, and that's kind of what you have to do. Just give him a little bit of a kiss up the side of the circuit, force him out on turns like this one and the last one at turn 4, and you get through and manage to put them off. Now, these three are back together again, and watch Singleton this time. He's got to come over. He can't leave it that late. He's got to try and get over a little bit early, because he then jeopardized, like he did there. He had to brake mid-corner. Normally you brake and let it roll round there and try and pick your spot to accelerate. So Singleton's got to make the moves, but he's got to make them a little bit earlier on his defense.
Yep, he is in a precarious position. However, the others around him will be behaving, because trying to overtake for the lead, but he's also trying not to get overtaken himself. It's a very difficult place to find yourself. It's a good run for Patero through there this time around. Warner is just sort of watching on, if you like, as Petkovic has got off further down.
He's got off down the order.
He's just ahead of Ben Gregory in 10th place, Petkovic. But unfortunately, he has gone for a spin here at turn 5 and 6. He's on the inside curb. That's a little bit of a bizarre one, but if you get on the power too early, you will spin around even in a low power machine such as this one, and Petkovic, I'm afraid, is down to 18th place.
He basically just caught the inside curve, then accelerated Singleton over, because he's coming, and that's what you got it. It's really difficult, because you've got a slight uphill at turn number 1 as well. It looks like Ian Knox has just gone round once again. He's down in 19th. No, Petrovic is down in 19th. He's just gone round. There's somebody gone round in the middle of turn 1, which is Knox, I believe, and he's just gone round as well. But that first corner is very deceiving, because there is a slight little uphill. It's not Coco uphill, but it is a slight little uphill climb, and it does kind of put you off, but it does look like now Patero's going to get that inside line. Singleton trying his hardest.
No! Whoa, no! It's a disaster for the two of them at a hairpin. Singleton there was on the outside line as Patero tried to work his way through. He got a very good run, actually, out of turn 7 and trying to use it. Singleton now wants to get going. Patero is being cautious getting back onto the circuit again, I think mainly because he's so damaged. Vaulted over the top of the bonnet of Singleton there. A rather bizarre crash, actually. And it's created all this too. Three wide into the final corner, and I'm afraid it's disastrous for Ben Gregory, who's gone around and he's smashed into by Metakos there in the number 1. He's going to have to go down to pit lane. It's Nicholas Green who's gone off as well. He can't turn anymore. His front wheels are off the ground. And so, and Graham Matthew trying to get back onto the circuit again has gone straight into the side of Zampic, who is embarking on all of this, wondering what the hell's gone on. This is what happened. Graham Matthew in the middle, Ben Gregory on the outside line, somebody else on the inside, and look at this, smashing straight into him, Metakos there, and also Nicholas Green, going straight into the side, T-boning the 2 spinners, and I'm afraid we've got quite a few drivers now down pit lane.
Yeah, that was just calamitous. It was really, if you analyse it and look at it again, Graham Matthews nearly saved this. He needed the car on the inside to accelerate, but what the car on the inside did is braked, and then if he hit Matthews on the front, he would have straightened Matthews out, and it might have stopped some of the carnage that went on, but he braked, and then unfortunately he just careered into him, and that was the end of that one.
You might be right, but there's also another world in which the driver on the inside does accelerate and he vaults over the front like we just saw Patero do to Singleton. So it could have been even worse.
Yeah, well, it was a 50-50 chance something was going to happen, right? Wasn't it? Let's be real. But this is a Singleton one. You can see he goes up the inside. Singleton comes over late and then just kind of turns and tries to bully him. And then, unfortunately, that was all she wrote for them two.
It's a difficult one, really. Patero was on a very narrow line and not a lot of space there. However, Singleton was also doing that line again and again, squeezing the driver on the inside, should there be one there. And so that one will be fought over, I would imagine. Knox and Ogley, meanwhile, go side by side. Knox goes through, he's bobbling over the inside curve there, through the final corner, and up to 6th place. Ogley drops down to 7th. So, of course, rating in the evening. He's a part of the Australia-New Zealand region, the Oceanic region. It's
11
probably
hours.
Past 9 o'clock now, depending on whereabouts he is. But yeah, nice bit of Sunday evening driving at Tsukuba for him.
Oh, what could be better after your Sunday roast? Maybe not for them. They might stick a kangaroo on the barbie or something because it is summertime out there. And then come and do some MX-5s at Tsukuba. I'd be down for that.
Even in the winter time, to be honest, you can have barbecue.
Round.
Contact, Sargent there has been spun round by a lap down driver. Now that's either Green, or well, it has to be Nicholas Green because Metakos is in the same colour. He's not on the circuit, so it's got to be Nicholas Green. What is he doing there? I'm afraid that is not good for Nicholas Green, who was watching a battle from drivers 1 lap ahead of him, and he just ran straight into the back twice of the number 6. That is not great, I'm afraid, from Nicholas Green.
No, he literally ran him over. It was like he just didn't stop, and then you can see there Orchin just made a mistake, and Cesare's just gone through on him, so that's never good. Werner's just lost some places further back as well, but that's due to the fact he's off the side of the circuit. We'll have a look back on that one. It's all got a little bit calamitous, isn't it? But the only one that has managed to stay out in front, out the way, is Valdez and Warner, and they're continuing their fight coming on to the end. So, yeah, great action from these two, but everybody else at some point has been involved in something.
Yeah, and that's the kind of race we're seeing this afternoon from these drivers. Don't forget, the full reverse grid race is coming up in a few moments' time, and we don't have any warm-up or anything between it, so we're going to be well, it's going to be mental. Let's put it that way. Graham here is just in behind Zambic, and he's also got a lap car right behind him. Now, which one is this? Is the question. I think it might be Petkovic or Nguyen. I think it is actually. Yeah, it is. So he is in behind. Let's hope we don't see something similar to what we did a couple of moments ago. You don't want to see those lap down drivers getting involved, because even though Nguyen is only 3 positions behind, he is a whole lap behind.
It's really hard, you know. Matthews, it's really hard for Jimmy Nguyen, because what does he do if he's quicker? What does he do? Does he go? Does he not? Can he go and get away? That's more of the point. Has he got that much overspeed that he can go and get away from these guys? Or does he just sit there and think, well, I'm here now, I'm in 15th, I better be near the front of the grid on the reverse, so I'll stay where I am?
I think that's the best thing to do, really.
Oh, especially making a mistake like that.
So he'll have the best seats in the house for this one, the battle for 11th place. I'd say Zambic has driven very well, actually, and I know I'm not pronouncing his name quite right, but
no,
that's all my English brain.
I don't think you can get away with pronouncing it any other way, to be fair, Mr. O'Leary. I think Zambic is right.
Well, no, we can't because we're English, but I'm aware that sounds very Dutch, and I'm not going to be able to do that quite properly, but anyway, we'll have to deal with that. The point is, he started last. He was last for a long time, actually, quite a long way off the group with Ben Gregory at the front of it before it all went wrong. He's picked up a lot of positions from there, but he's also holding on to a few as well, and this is an example of that. He's, I think, the biggest mover forward so far this race.
Yeah, the only other one is Dean Sargent. He's up 7. Oh, no, he's not. Where has he gone? There he is. He's up 7 places, but we're coming into the final parts now. Are these guys going to get... Oh, this is going to be really, really close. Whether or not this is going to be the final or one more here. And
they're going to get one more. Yeah, they are. And Warner will be very pleased about that. Matt Warner's kept his powder dry for the end of the race here. And Van Sevius is defending. He knows this is the last lap. There's no point in taking non-defensive lines, to be honest, because you're not going to get caught by anyone with this amount of time remaining. You might as well just hold on however you can here. It looks like Van Sevius is in prime position to do that. Warner has seen turn 1 go by, now turn 5 as well, and there are limited chances now for him to make this move somehow.
Yeah, he's got to he's got to carry loads of speed. This is his thing now. He's got to feather that throttle, he's got to get that MX-5 settled, and he's got to get on the gas. And now try and get him coming out of it. Carry as much as you can, use a little bit of a bank in it. It is a little bit banked there that you can get in, but I don't think he quite nailed that right. He's going to try going into this final corner, but we'll see if he can get through.
Towards the final turn, it looks like Van Sevius is going to get there, just ahead of Matt Warner. A good race between these two after the crash between Patero and the others. It is Van Sevius who takes the victory here in round 5, ahead of Warner by just under 0.3 of a second. They'll be starting on the back row together in race 2, and it's Theophilopoulos who's going to work his way over in 3rd place. That's a good podium from him as well there. So a couple of good drives from people now who'll be starting the second race, of course, from the back of the field.
Yeah, Zambic just, sorry, I will pick up on that, but Zambic just got that all wrong. He got that turn completely beat Tong. That's allowed Graham Matthews to come in now. Matthews has got to run now. Get on the power. You've got to kind of hold it and hope it sticks. It's a very big Lightning McQueen moment, but he didn't quite get the run out, and Abogi's going to have to stay. If anything, he lost time to them, and that was it. Over the line he goes. But that was a great race. I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
It certainly was, not without its incidents and accidents, but it was a good race. Ben Gregory goes over the line 16th. He'll be disappointed, but he will be in a good place to start in 4th, and that might well be a good result for him because of how he was defending in race 1, after all. Valdes Van Sevius wins ahead of Matt Warner, and I will just run through the results because the grid is going up. But basically, just flip this on its head for what you're about to see. Yanis Theophilopoulos is 3rd ahead of Gaetano Cesare. Then it's Eric Orchan rounding out the top 5. Ian Knox finished 6th ahead of Andrew Ogley and Joel Singleton, who eventually finished 8th. Darren Nunn and Dean Sargent finished rounding out the top 10, with Patrick Zambic in 11th, holding off Graham Matthew, and Tommy Patero, who somehow stayed on the lead lap despite his crash. Wildan Pekovic and Dimi Nguyen finished in the top 15, with Ben Gregory 1 lap down as well. George Metzkos and Nicholas Green finished both 2 laps down. Gerald Werner actually left, so he will not take the start of this second race, I wouldn't imagine. But let's see if that spot is left empty. It looks like it's going to be Nicholas Green starting from the front. What's going to be a very exciting reverse grid.
Yeah. Yes. It'll be very interesting indeed. It'll be interesting to see if they can come through and see how they get on.
Well, the lights are about to come on, and we are about to get set. Tommy Patero's not starting from the middle of the train, and neither is Ben Gregory. 2 spots left blank here at the start of race 6 as we get underway here at Tsukuba again. It's a good start for Green because there's nobody out the front. 1 driver's left. 2 of them decided to start from pit lane, so there's nobody here in the top 5. It's all going on in the midfield. Big dive down the outside. I think there, Graham Matthew just slipped up the inside of Nunn. I think, sorry, it was Matthew going wide, I think, actually. But they've all made it through as well. Here goes Pekovic. Oh, he was aggressive in the race. He's been aggressive again. And there's contact. Metakos has gone around, and he's gone around again, trying to get on the power. Pekovic is going to be with him in the barriers.
Oh, too much, bro. Too aggressive. Not for that corner on lap 1. That was, yeah, that was not good.
Well, he was aggressive in race 1, and we saw that. He's aggressive again here, but unfortunately it's gone wrong on lap 1. Here goes Singleton. What a great chance he's got to win race 2 here this afternoon. As he goes down the inside, he's already into 2nd place, Joel Singleton, and barring any incident or accident, surely he's going to be now on the charge to chase down Nicholas Green and take this win as well. He's got a long time left in this race to try and catch him.
Yeah, he has. But he's got 2.3 at the moment, and Nick Green obviously in front, 1:11.08 last time out, obviously 1:13. There's a bit of calamity going on behind with Ogley, Cesari, and they're all running 3 wide. How they've managed this, how they're going to keep this controlled, I don't really know, but they do, the teal-coloured cars. Great driving, scary moment for them as well, but unfortunately not good from some of the incidents that we've seen early on. Tommy Patero trying to come through the field. Valdez is already up. He's up 9 places in 10th at the moment. We will be picking a driver of the day. If there's anybody you think at home, let us know on that one from these 2 races. But yeah, now you can see Nick Green's gap come down to 1.2, and Singleton's bringing Sargent and Knox, who's up 10 places as well with him.
Yeah, it's been a lively opening to this race as we make our way down in towards turn number 1. Knox looking and knocking on the door of a podium. Singleton's already there. And a spin in the background for Graham Matthew. Matthew's gone for a spin down at the very back, and Ogley, slowing down, has been overtaken as well by Patero, who's coming through from the pit lane, as I mentioned earlier. But that's a real shame for Graham Matthew. Looked like a solo spin to me. He's got no one behind him, so I would imagine that it is. Andrew Ogley was trying to avoid him, and he was going wide and side by side. That's why he struggled so much. Oh, well done getting that around. He saved the car from spinning, Ogley, and saved himself from going straight into the side of the spun Graham Matthew. Here, though, goes Joel Singleton. This is hardly a surprise to anybody. Joel Singleton going to the front, down the inside at the final corner, and he's into the lead.
Yeah, Singleton there takes that lead. No surprise, we did expect him. He should motor on now. It'll be whether or not Nick Green can hold on. It looks like Van Beek and Gregory's had an incident as well. There's a move coming in. Oh, he's got it wrong. Oh, boys. Come on. Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Stay there.
Very nearly. He's all right. He's found a gap in the traffic. Oh, no, and a spin there. Sargent and Patero as well. Sargent is continuing to drop down, so Patero is joining him. Slightly confusing me, I'll admit. Tommy Patero just dropped it on the exit of turn 1 by the looks of things, with being too eager on the power there. Sargent, this is what happened to him.
Oh.
Yeah, just hit there pretty obviously, although there was a lot of moving going on the straight, I've got to say. Then Patero, just after avoiding him, goes for the exit, goes for the cutback, and goes straight into the side of someone, because there was someone rejoining up ahead. Well, that one's quite hard to unpick, to be honest, but Patero's down to 14th place now.
Yeah, it's all gone beat on for some of these drivers, isn't it? Let's be real. I did want the one I was looking for was actually Ben Gregory and Zambic. I'm not quite sure what happened to Ben or Zambic here, but both of them had their own little moment round about exactly the same time. What does Greg? Oh, Zambic's already round.
No.
And then goes straight in, unfortunately, for that. He volunteers in YouTube chat. Good morning, dear sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Exciting start here in the feature. Chaos, he's put.
Yes. I was thinking, I recognise that name, but I can't remember where. I'm glad he said where he's from. Otherwise, I would have completely forgotten. I apologise. Cesare goes through, meanwhile, on Nunn here for 8th place, and so that is a nice move for him, moving on up. This is the biggest train in the field, though. Jimmy Nguyen is 4th ahead of Warner, who I think we gave the award to last week, by the way. Ahead of Van Sevius as well, as Fenopoulos as well, as Green versus Knox goes on. At the final turn, the two Oceanic drivers in the field going into battle now. The final corner, and it looks like Knox is going to work his way through here on the inside line. Green still on the outside though, putting up a good fight, and eventually has to concede. Contact meanwhile as Sevius is trying to work his way through. He narrowly avoids a win there, who goes for a big spin out of turn 1.
Yeah, Jimmy Nguyen, unfortunately, he's just gone round as well. Do you know, it's so hard to sit here because you really know what Nick Green's got to do on that inside line with him. He just had to lean on him a little bit to get the speed around the outside to run down through 2, 3 and 4, and he kind of just didn't do that, and Knox got the run, and that's kind of game over at the moment on that one. Just needed to lean on him. Sargent and Patero, like here, the same thing on this one now. You can see Sargent's on that inside. He just needs to lean on him. Patero coming into 5. He's going to need to get on the outside line. Oh, it's a bit difficult when you can't actually see a car that's having a little bit of a blink there, unfortunately, as well. But you just want to make sure you can lean on the car just a little bit. You know, to make the outside of 1 work, you have to squeeze the inside line, and you almost have to take each other's mirrors off by leaning on each other for him to get the run round the exit to get the inside line for the next corner. Very difficult to do.
8 minutes to go here in this race. Oh, that's almost an accidental look down the inside from Nicholas Green, who should be in the properly green car, I think, rather than lime green. But anyway, he's 3rd, just ahead of Warner in the same colour. And then there's Van Sevius there in the light aqua blue, and then Fenopoulos, who doesn't look like he's in any of the cars.
No.
Green. But maybe he'll get a penalty for that or something. Green goes very wide there, though. He's rather handing that on a plate. Oh, careful! Oh, my goodness me! Warner there very nearly got clipped and would have been sent around. Green, though, is the only one who spins eventually.
Oh, man, you just see him carry too much power off the curb. And that was it, game over. That's a feather moment. That's not a slam your foot on the right pedal and hope for the best moment, unfortunately, for Lem. So, yeah, a little bit of a difficult scenario, but unfortunately he does go round. It does free up Warner and Knox. Knox is up 12, Warner's up 15, Valdez is up 15, and Yanis is also up 12. So there's some big gainers in race number 2, but there was quite a little bit of chaos. And now Patero, lean on him. This is it here. You can see Green's on the inside line. He's got to make sure, from his point of view, he's hugging the apex. Patero needs to go and lean on the car. You need to be a little bit closer to him. Lean on him, lean on him, lean on him.
Oh, no!
And then it will give him the inside line. Yeah.
That was pretty close to disaster. These two are probably a bit further down than really where they should be. Certainly Patero, because he was fighting in the top 4 in race 1. After that spin here in race 2, some of his hard work in the opening part of this one has been sort of undone here. Round the outside again here. Going to be shoved out. That's quite nice defending from Green there. And he holds on to 11th place just for the moment. Patero will have another look, I would imagine. He'll have to be forced on the outside this time round, and have a bit of success round there. No, it's a bit of a long way, to be fair.
Going to get him on the cutback, though.
Long way, actually, round that corner, but he does go for the cutback, and he gets the inside line in time for turn 1. Now, finally, he'll be able to work his way through into 11th place.
Yeah, I don't think Green's quite got the speed that he needs to hold on to that. I think Patero was always going to get through, but it's just Green put up an absolute stunning fight to go and have a go. Knox is slowly breaking away. Warner's now in with Valdez in behind that. There's Yanis in behind that as well. So they're coming into now turns number 8 for the run up through into 9. So this could be an interesting run, depending if Valdez can get a decent run out.
This is going to be the battle of the race, I think, for the remaining 5 minutes, because Joel Singleton is gone 8 seconds out in front. Van Sevius on board with him through the final corner. Warner right up ahead of him here. He's going to be on the defensive here. He's not attacking Knox there. He's way too far back. He's defending from Van Sevius, who pulls to the outside line. and can't work his way through. Now out of the first corner. Oh, he's just got the Parfitt too early. He tried to get the exit. He was doing the right thing. He just got himself in the grass.
Yeah, and then obviously that just jeopardizes your exit speed as well. You can see the little bit of the high banking, not high, but it is banked a little bit there that you can utilize as well. It's here. This is a dab and a go, and I hope the car sticks moment this is. And now through the feathered area of this racetrack, coming in to turn number 8. On the brakes, he's got to go. Dig it in. Now on the throttle and go, and that's what he's got to do, and make sure he can do that every single lap to try and close that gap up.
He's got a limited amount of time remaining here. Could still be 5 to go, to be fair. Depends how quick Singleton's been in this race. I think we got 15 in the opening race, but it was only by a couple of seconds. So we'll see if we get 15 again. Out of the final corner, Van Sevius there has a very good run indeed. He's going to be on the outside going in towards turn number 1. Late on the brakes. Oh, it's a squeeze. Warner taking a pretty tight line, and it's worked in the end. It's a long way round turn 1, and Van Sevius hasn't been able to do it. So this could become a bit frustrating, really, in the next few moments for Van Sevius as he continues to get stuck behind Warner.
Yeah, Knox got an absolute rough run through 4. That group Warner up and Valdez up as well. And then they just couldn't go anywhere else. It was kind of like Knox's stopped almost, and then Warner and Valdez just couldn't go anywhere. So they're going to have to try and regroup and go again. You can see the non-Ogley, Metacross and Orchin battle taking shape at the same time with 3.5 minutes to go. Singleton is just about coming around the final corner, 3:18. I think it's going to be a close one again to the 15 that we had. But here's Valdez and Warner.
That was exceptionally close there. As Van Sevius, sorry, he was looking very close to the back of Warner, who's again half defensive. Van Sevius wants that inside line because he knows it will give him the podium place, but for the moment he's not quite managing to get there. Looking again here at the inside line. Can he get anywhere down the inside? No is the answer. Again, he's really stuck behind Warner here. We haven't really seen this kind of difficulty to overtake so far.
No, I think the thing is Warner's putting his car in a position that really does stop Valdez going through. Warner's playing this in a way that he's making sure that Valdez has got to go on the outside, which is always difficult. He's making sure that he can't get the run as well. And what Warner does do is when Valdez goes on the outside line, he opens up the steering on the exit. He just gives Valdez something to think about, which then results in Valdez backing off, and then Warner survives another lap. And it's the same here with Knox and Warner. You'll see the same situation taking shape.
It's a very interesting race situation at the moment for this second place. Joel Singleton's absolutely gone out front, and it looks like he is going to give us 3 more laps remaining because he's been driving coach so quickly so far, but that is not going to help the likes of Knox here, who wants to hang on to second place, for Warner as well, who wants a podium. Will he be able to hang on here ahead of Van Sevius, who won the opening race by a pretty small margin in the end? He's done the best, though, of those who have had to really come through the field, I think, in this second race, I would argue. Patero, who was quite a long way back, is still quite a long way down there, unfortunately, for example. So it's tricky, as into the hairpin they go. Something happened?
No, sorry, I got a little bit excited. Warner went in a little bit deep, and then he had to literally slam on the brakes, and that allowed Knox to get away, but then it allowed Valdez to close back into where he is again. And this is the same scenario that we're talking about. Now Warner's going to open it up. He's just going to give him something to think about on the outside. Valdez can't quite get there. Warner goes, you've got to go further. You've got to hug the white line like your favourite grandma. And now open it up coming through turn 1 because he has to stop him. There you go. Just opens it up. Gives him enough room, but not enough that Valdez can make his move. He's got to do the same here again. He's got to close him up.
Oh, goodness, in the final minute of the race, Valdez Van Sevius goes to the inside finally and makes his move. Well, it was coming eventually, and with the limited amount of time remaining, surely he was going to go for it at some point, but Warner's going to have a decent run here into the next hairpin. He's going to go for it again. Oh, these two are going into battle now in these final couple of laps. Francevius is going to come back at him here on the exit of the corner. This is a great end to the race between these two as they fight for the final podium place. Knox looks like he's going to finish runner-up here with Singleton giving us one more lap. Oh, Warner pulls across the front of Francevius in towards the final corner. Surely he's going to do the same at turn 1 as well here as they make their way out of turn 12. He's nowhere near close enough. Francevius is going to have to be just as aggressive as he was last lap on this final lap to try and take third place.
Yeah, you can see Warner's defensive move wasn't quite defensive enough. That gave Valdez the run up here into this corner because he didn't quite close him off enough. You've got to be more decisive for Warner. He had to cover him and make sure if Valdez was going to hit him, it should have been on the backside. It should not have been on the door. But that's purely because Warner just didn't quite close him up and close that gap off straight away. Now it's left Valdez really chasing his tail here. Singleton's out in front and absolutely decimated the rest of them because he's going to come around the final corner and take the victory in race number 2.
Yeah, there he is. Round 6 of the championship is going to go to Joel Singleton, bouncing back from his incident in race 1 to win race 2 here at Tsukuba. Pretty big margin as well. Ian Knox has done a great job to defend here, by the way, to hold on to second ahead of Warner and Vancevius, who are at third and fourth ahead of Theofanopoulos, third, fourth and fifth, finishing in the top 5. All three of those drivers finishing in the top 5 on both occasions this afternoon. That is a good performance from them. Tommy Patero, meanwhile, comes through the field again. That's about the third time this afternoon he's had to do that. And this time, eventually, he finishes 7th.
Yeah, great job from them. Them 4 battling down to the line. Everybody else is coming over the line as well to wrap this one up. But it's been a good couple of races. Jimmy Newen and Brent Gregory on that one. I've got a couple of driver of the days, dear sir. Have you wrote down some?
I'm struggling more this week actually than I was last time, but I've got a few in mind. But you sound more confident than me, so I'll let you go first. Although, should we do the results first, actually, before we get to that?
That actually might probably help us here, actually, to tell people who was who on that one. Nice battles, entertaining, nice finish. It was good. I like it.
Yes, exactly. And if you want to in YouTube chat, then you can help us try and decide driver of the day as well. Joel Singleton takes the victory by 9.6 seconds in the end. Pretty dominated that race, really, ahead of Ian Knox, who defended very well from Matt Warner, Valdez Vancevius and Yanis Theofanopoulos. The final 3 of those finishing in the top 5 on both occasions tonight. Or today, damn it. Gaetano Cesare finishes 6th ahead of Tommy Patero, as we mentioned, was up and down like a bit of a pogo stick today. He's finishing 7th in the end, though, ahead of Darren Nunn, Eric Urchin and George Metikos, who had that early incident, of course, in race 1, in lap 1, I should say. However, still managed to top 10. Andrew Ogley finished 11th ahead of Nicholas Green, who also had that incident on lap 1. Dean Sargent finished 13th ahead of Graham Matthew, Jimmy and Wynn, and also Ben Gregory, the final drivers on the lead lap. Patrick Zambic was 1 lap down with Wilden Petkovic, and I think Werner actually did get back in the race eventually. I saw him on the circuit towards the end there. But anyway, finished 12 laps down. He did do a few laps, but unfortunately finished 12 laps down. Well, let's get. You sound more confident than me this week, so you go first, and we'll see if we've got any matching notes here.
I've got 2. I've got Singleton for coming up and gaining 11 places and taking the victory. And I've got Ian Knox, who was also up 12, but also defended for his life over Matt Warner and Valdez and Yanis. So they're the 2 I've got. If I threw in a bit of a curveball, I would go for Tommy Patero, only because most people would have quit the amount of times he went up and down the order. So I think Tommy Patero for determination and persistence would be one I would go.
That's part of driver of the day as well. So yeah, we can have that. I'm finding it quite difficult to pick Joel Singleton personally because I think he wasn't right at the back of the field, and also his incident was kind of at least half caused by himself. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. I'm quite. Although he drove very well in race 2, there's no doubt about that. I don't want to take anything away from him there. The only matching one I had from those is Ian Knox, for the defending alone, actually. Not least the coming through the field, but actually just defending, because, as I mentioned, Warner and Valdes Fonsevius and Theophanopoulos as well, all three of them finished in the top 5 in race 1. They came all the way through, and so I am slightly tempted by one of those 3 as well. But Ian Knox held them all off, after all, and qualifying would suggest he's not as quick as those 3, so he did a very good job to hold on.
So should we go for Ian Knox?
I think it's the only one we've both got, I think Ian Knox should the win, yes.
Right, well, let's bring Mr. Knox down into the broadcast booth with us now. Ian, welcome in.
Hello.
Hello, dear sir. You have won the broadcast booth driver of the day.
Oh, thank you. That's exciting.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. Mr. O'Leary will take over from there.
Yeah, congratulations. I want to chat to you a bit about race 2, because we were following you, as you can imagine, following you for most of the second race. You were holding 3 drivers off who outqualified you vastly, and so I would presume were faster than you in a dead heat. But you held them all off. How was the second race for you?
Yeah, it was good. It was just a lot of fun, really. The guys were quick, obviously, but I think they were fighting each other a bit, which gave me a little bit of space. And I had a little bit of damage as well, so just trying to place the car and not make any dumb mistakes like I did in race 1.
I was going to ask, how do you get on with Tsukuba generally? Because it's one that divides opinion somewhat, but MX5 racing is great anywhere to watch. How is it to drive?
Yeah, I've done a lot of laps here in Gran Turismo, as it happens, because they used to have like a 4-hour race in MX5s in that. So I'm very familiar with the track, but pretty new to iRacing, so still learning how the cars drive. But no, I love it. It's a good little track. It's especially fun in the rain, actually.
Is it? Even in these cars?
Yeah. It's you get to just kind of drift the cars around and have a ball. So it's good fun.
That's a surprising revelation. Well, there you go.
Congratulations,
Ian, on your drive this afternoon, and thanks so much for coming to chat to us. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to on the stream before we let you go?
Look, just to the guys. This is a lot of fun, and I've been very blessed to be invited, and Jack's done a great job organising it. So, it's a lot of fun. So, just thank you. It's good to be part of it.
Well, thanks for coming to chat to us. It's been great fun watching out there this afternoon, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks very much. Ian Knox there, our driver of the day, James.
I agree. I think he did well.
He was surprised to be here. I think it's fair to say.
But the thing is, that's what I mean. Driver of the day isn't whose goes wins, right? Because let's face it, I would have gone for the run. I would have gone for like almost the consolidation driver of the day would have been Tommy Patero because of his determination going up and down the order like a yo-yo. But that's the thing with that sort of scenario, isn't it? You've got to make sure that you're in it to win it and have the determination to take part. And fair play to them. And Ian Knox deserved it, so I'd give it with him.
I'd imagine he'll go to bed pleased tonight.
Which he probably will do. He's Australian, isn't he?
Exactly, yeah. If he's on the West Coast, it could be as early as about 7, but... Oh, not 7, sorry, about 9, but that's still quite late, isn't it, I suppose, for a Sunday night. But anyway, now I want to give one last shout out actually before we go to Valdes Fonsevius. I was very close to giving it him last week, or last round, pretty close to giving him this week as well. So I think he deserves a shout out because at Alton Park, I think he won a race or 2. I think he was the only driver to finish on the podium twice at Alton Park. But yes. I think we went for Warner because he came through the field in much of the same way what we did today. So I do feel a bit sorry for him since he finished 3rd and 4th tonight as well. However, maybe next week for him. He's been driving very well so far in the 2 rounds that we've seen.
Yeah, he has, and you are right. He was the only one who grabbed podiums on both races last time out as well. But let's see. Next week, there's a moment next week. He might have it, of course.
Absolutely. We'll see how he goes. Oran Park is coming up next week, by the way. We'll be back again on the JP YouTube channel for that from midday, just after midday at UK time. That's just after 1 in Central Europe, but I know people are from all over the world actually in this league, so I'm not going to do every conversion. But we'll be back same time next week. We're here actually every week, apart from the 19th of January until early February now for the 12 races of this championship. Myself and James, so I very much hope that you will Join us for that. Oran Park coming up, same time, same place next week. Very much hope that we will see you then. For now, though, for myself, Ian Leary, James Parfitt alongside me, it is goodbye for now, and we'll see you at Oran Park in 7 days' time.